What's up, VIPs? Derek here, back with another video, and it's been a little bit since I've been on here, but I won't waste your time talking about that. Maybe I'll talk about that at the end of the video if you're familiar with me and you want to stick around. Hey, I wanted to talk about small things that actually still bother me. You know, this year in 2021, I will have been blind 20 years. 20 years, and that seems like forever. It seems like, well, it was 1, 2, 20, like it's forever. And, you know, after 20 years, there are some things I realize about sight loss. You know, some triggers that I have and some understanding that I have about being visually impaired and so forth. Things I just get. But there are still moments when I'm like, oh, this is awful. I hate this. And I wanted to give you an example of that because it's it's kind of a goofy example, but I thought maybe, just maybe, it would help others. So, the other day, we had this video game. Now, let me just backtrack for a second. My daughter, we got her a Switch, a Nintendo Switch for Christmas. And if you've ever used a Switch, it's like a huge Game Boy, for those of you who are, you know, my 80s and 90s friends. It's like a huge Game Boy. It's got a screen, and it's got these, I don't know, joystick things. Anyway, Nintendo makes it very Nintendo. But you can hook it up to the TV, and so not only can you kind of play the Game Boy version, but you can play it on the TV, and it's really cool. And it's supposed to have some accessibility features, and I haven't really looked into that totally. We've only had it for, you know, maybe a month and a half at this point, but anyway, I digress. We got her a Switch. And so one of my friends said, hey, we play this game called Super Smash Bros. And I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, and it's got these characters, and it's got Street Fighter. And I was like, I played Street Fighter when I was a kid. Oh, that'd be so cool. He's like, yeah, it's got like 75 characters. So he said, why don't you borrow it? And I was like, okay, great. So we borrowed it, and I was like, this will be awesome. Here's the problem. I cannot play this game at all. Now, maybe you're sitting there going,
wait, I play Super Smash Bros. It's great. Here's the things you do.
And if you have any suggestions, put them in the comments. But I just couldn't play this game. The contrast was not good. We tried different levels on the map, and it just nothing. The characters were too small. I couldn't play it. I was like, nope, this is not going to work. And it really hit me. It really bothered me. It was like it said to me, you don't have access to this. You cannot play this game. And you're, you know, out in the cold. Actually, quite literally at my house right now, there's like, you know, 5-6 inches of snow. But anyway, the point is, you don't have access to this. We don't want you. It's what it kind of felt like, which is kind of goofy because Nintendo is not suggesting that. And here's the thing, I'm not mad at the video game creators or Nintendo, I'm not mad at them at all. It's not like I think they should make video games for blind people only. Now, can it be made more accessible? Probably. But video games are very visual. It's a visual medium. And so, look, this is not a debate on whether video games should be accessible or not. I don't want to get lost off in the weeds. I just wanted to tell you that it bothered me. I had to go upstairs and sulk a bit and have a moment. And it only lasted a little while, but, you know, even when I told my wife, I was like, this, you know, she's like, yeah, and it's kind of like, oh. And we didn't need a big 5-hour conversation about it. It bothered me. I was sad. I thought about it. I moved forward. That was it, you know, and then I moved forward in it. But it just bothered me. And it still shocks me, I think, when it's like, why is this bothering me? You know, like, I can't drive. That's, you know, but that I've kind of dealt with. I get it. I can't drive. You know, it's the big things that you think are going to get you. But it's those small little moments where it catches you off guard because you're not expecting it. You know, when you have to not be able to drive and you have to call an Uber or a friend, you know, you are like working up the nerve to deal with the fact that you can't drive. You know, you've got, okay, I can't drive. This might bother me. I'm going to get prepared. You know, but then you play a dumb video game that you can't use and you can't see, and you're totally, for lack of a better word, blindsided by the fact that you know, you don't have access to this. It's like, oh no. So anyway, it just got me. And the reason I tell you this is because maybe you're going to have these moments too. Maybe you've been blind a month, 6 months, a year, 10 years, who knows? After 20 years, nearly 20 years, I still have these moments. And it still makes me sad or aggravated or mad or frustrated or whatever. I think after all these years, the difference is, number one, I'm able to, even in the moment when I'm feeling sad, I'm able to say, this is not a huge deal and I will get through this. And number two, I think I work through them a little bit quicker than somebody who just lost their sight 2 days ago. I think that's just time. You know, time has taught me that, and I've learned a lot of things. But it still got me, and I was still sad. And you might be saying, well, Derek, it sounds like you're saying just, you know, be sad, but just get through it real quick and move on. No, I got through it real quick, you know, in the situation. Now, if it had been something else, I may have not gotten through it all that quickly. But I'm saying feel it, feel the things, the sadness, the anger, the frustration. Feel it. It might last 5 minutes. It might last 5 days. Who knows? But feel it. And at the same time you're feeling it, be aware why you're feeling it. It is sight loss that's causing this. It's not Nintendo. It's not your kids, and you feel it and go through it and deal with it. Because if you don't, and we've talked about this on the channel, if you don't deal with it, then it's going to be like shaking up that Coke bottle, and all of a sudden you've pushed it down, and then you're playing the video game that you don't have access to, and the Coke bottle explodes, and you're yelling at your kids, and you're throwing the controller, and it's a whole big mess, and it's like, oh my gosh, what happened? And it's not really about that. It's about all those things that you've kept inside. And so I encourage you, even if it's a small thing, deal with it. Talk to your friends, talk to your spouse, talk to somebody you have. It's like, hey, I was upset that I couldn't play that video game. And even if your friends and spouse are like, who cares? It's a video game. Even if they're like that, be like, I know, but I don't have access to it any longer. And that bothers me. It bothers me that I can't do this. Because I was excited about the video game. Because I wanted to play Street Fighter characters. Because I remember when I was 14, I played Street Fighter. I was like, this is going to be great. And honestly, I probably would have played that game 3 times and then never picked it up again. That's the truth. That helped me. It's like, Derek, you're never going to play this game. Nobody cares. And it's like, okay. But I still want access to it. And I think we all do. So this video is getting long and rambly. I'm going to let it go here. But just know that we're going to have these sad moments. Small things are going to get you. Big things are going to get you. Somewhere in the spectrum. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay to be sad, mad, frustrated, whatever. Feel that and deal with it so that you can keep moving forward even in the midst of those moments that kind of get you. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new around here, my name is Derek. I help people just like you to live their lives to the fullest after sight loss. So maybe you're a visually impaired person, maybe you're a sighted supporter, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I do release videos sometimes. I'm hoping to get back into it in 2021 on a more consistent basis, but go ahead and subscribe if you're new. And by the way, if you're not new, if you're familiar with me, well, it's been a while. And just a quick life update. If you don't care about me, just click off this video now. It doesn't really matter. But if you do, quick life update. In January of this year, my wife and I both got COVID. So we are fine. Everything's fine. We're doing well. She's back to work. I'm back to work. And the kids they didn't get it. They were fine. But that happened. And of course, with the holidays, I've been dealing with some other things with family members and extended family and so forth. I won't go into great detail, but just struggling through a few things over the last 4 or 5 months. And still going through those kinds of things right now. So it's been a hot mess right now. I have a hat on in this video. For those of you who have a little bit of sight, or who are sighted supporters, be prepared. This is my hairdo right now. It is the COVID hairdo. Like, I haven't had a haircut in probably, 4 months, and it is long and ugly, and there's not much I can do with it right now. So I'm debating growing it out, but it kind of looks like this. So anyway, April and I are doing well. The kids are doing well. We're hoping to bring back the podcast in maybe a slightly different form, just maybe a little bit shorter, succinct kind of stuff. But we'd like to bring it back because everybody likes it. Maybe not everybody, but the people who tell me they like it, they definitely like it. So anyway, I will stop rambling now. I hope you guys are doing well. I really appreciate all the support you guys continue to give me, and hopefully this will be the first of quite a few videos for 2021. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like this video, share it out with somebody that you know, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, self-high-five. The secret word is, what would be the secret word? Snuffleupagus. And if you can spell that in the comments, congratulations. That's our secret word of the day. That's not a thing. I just came up with that. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. My name is Derek, and I'll see you in the next one.